Hiya to welcome back to Home Learning. I'm sure you've already done your maths, your reading and your writing. So welcome to today's science lesson. As it's the first time you've probably heard my voice since half term, I hope you all had a wonderful break. You deserve the rest. Hopefully you did some nice fun activities. But let's get back now straight into home learning and continue that excellent, fantastic effort you showed last half term. Let me start by sharing my screen for today. So today, year two, we're moving away from exercise, and you did some brilliant work, and we're looking at the question, why is hygiene important? Why is hygiene important? Before I start talking about what hygiene is and why it's important, though, let's recap some of our previous learning, because we always have to go back to learning we've done in the past, because otherwise we forget it. So by reviewing it, by going back over it, it really helps us stick our information in our memory. And the more we know, the further we will go in life. So it's important to always look back at stuff we've learned. So feel free, I'm going to read the question. Feel free to pause the video after each question after I read it. What happens after you exercise? You have an increased heart rate, you feel sad, you play with your friends, or you eat food. What will normally always happen after you exercise properly? Feel free to pause the screen and then tell me through the computer. Well done if you said you have an increased heart rate. We learned that when we exercise, that our heart starts to beat more quickly. Okay, why? It's because it's actually trying to pump more blood around your body at a higher speed, because the blood, your blood, carries oxygen to your muscles. So we breathe in the oxygen and the heart will pump it around the body. But when we're exercising, we're using more oxygen. So we need to take in more oxygen and pump it around the body more quickly, or in a quicker speed. So what happens after you exercise? Your heart will beat more quickly. Next question. Why are sugars not good for energy? Why are sugars not good for energy? Pause the screen here. Well done. If you couldn't remember, don't worry. But we learned that sugars, if you have sugar for energy, it gives you a really quick high with loads and loads of energy. But suddenly, that energy has a very short life, and it will suddenly your energy will drop very quickly. So you'll go from being really hyper, loads full of energy, running around loads, but very soon you will be on your sofa. I'm so tired. Okay, I'm worn out. Not the right type of energy. If you're going to be playing sports, we want foods that give slow release energy. Your carbohydrates, okay? Pasta, brown bread, rice, slow release energy, okay? Sugar gives you a lot of energy to start with, but it goes very quickly. Question 3. What would measure the time most accurately? Mental counting, a sand timer, a stopwatch, or counting on your fingers, okay? Which would measure the time most accurately? Feel free to pause the video and tell me through the computer. Well done if you said a stopwatch. A stopwatch will tell you how much time has passed, and it's much more reliable than using mental counting. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Oh, am I going too quick, too slowly? Sand timer, very difficult to measure actually in seconds, and counting on your fingers, you're going to run out of fingers very quickly. So a stopwatch, and most of your parents' phones will have a stopwatch. So I'm sure if you ask them later, if you haven't seen one, a stopwatch is the best for counting time. Let's look back at our last unit. Which material is best for a window? Which material is best for a window? Pardon me. Tell me through the computer now, and tell me, why do you think it's best? Off you go. Well done. I probably would have gone with glass. Why am I going with glass? Okay, it is transparent. I guess you could have had plastic too, and you do get some strong plastic windows now, which are also transparent. But we want the glass window or maybe the plastic window, because they are both transparent. Okay, you would not want a wooden window. Why? A wooden window is opaque. It means you cannot see through it. We want to be able to see through a window. That's why we have windows, to see through and let light in. You need it to be transparent. Transparent is when you can see through something, or technically it's when something allows a light to pass through it. So last question, what main property would you want an umbrella to have? What property, what characteristic would you want an umbrella to have? Think about your properties: opaque, rigid, transparent. But what would you want an umbrella to have? Pause the video now. Well done if you said waterproof. Okay, yes, you want it to be maybe slightly rigid, but the main thing you need your umbrella to have is it to be waterproof. It means water will not pass through it. That's the point of an umbrella, to stop you getting wet, okay, from the rain. Anyway, as I said today, we're looking at why is hygiene important. Why is hygiene important? Okay, but let's ask these questions. You can raise your hand and say yes to any of the following questions. Okay, number one, who's been to the toilet today? Who has sneezed or coughed today? Who's eaten food? Who's touched their shoes? I wonder if you've said yes to any of those questions, okay? Because if you have, then you should have had hygiene involved with them, which I'll go on to later. And just before we carry on, hygiene is about being clean, okay? When we talk about hygiene, it's about being clean, making sure our body, our clothes, our mouths are clean, okay? So let's have a look here, because if we're not clean, we allow something called germs potentially to enter our body. So germs are tiny living things that can cause diseases, okay? Germs are so small and sneaky that they creep into our bodies without being noticed. You need to use a microscope to see them. So you cannot see germs, what we call the naked eye, okay? You can't just look at your table now or your hands and see germs. They're almost invisible, okay? They're there, but you can't see them. They're so small, you cannot see them. When they get into our bodies, we don't know until we start to feel sick or unwell. So you could have germs on your hands right now, and you might then touch your mouth, but you wouldn't know you've had the germs until you start to feel ill. Now, I do want to say one thing about germs. I don't want you all to suddenly become terrified about touching anything, okay? Germs are always going to be around us, unfortunately, but they're things we do to stop the germs going into our body, okay? We're always going to get a little bit ill in life, all right? You know, my class have heard me come into school occasionally sneezing, or when I was filming one of the lessons recently, I had a little bit of a cold. We're always going to get germs entering our body, but we're lucky humans have our immune system that fights off the illness. That's why we have to have certain foods like oranges, because they give us vitamin C, and vitamin C helps our immune system fight the germs. So even if germs go into your body can fight them off already, okay? But the best thing to do, or an important thing to do, is to try and stop the germs entering your body, okay? And we could do that in different ways. But what do germs do? Once germs invade our bodies, they snuggle in for a long stay. They gobble up the nutrients and energy, and they leave us feeling weak or tired. So once germs go into your body and you start to feel ill, you can feel really weak and tired. So even just getting out of bed can be a bit of a chore, okay? And you've probably all felt that before. You know, if you've had a cold, or you've had the sniffles, you know, you've not been feeling very well from your bed, and coming to school seems like a real challenge. All right, that's because the germs have been eating your nutrients and taking your energy away. They can cause symptoms of common infections like fevers, sniffles, rashes, coughing, vomiting, and diarrhea. So when germs get into your body, they can do different things. They can make you react in different ways. All right. So you might just have the sniffles. And I've got a bit of a sniffly nose today. So maybe a germ snuck into my body. All right. Or maybe actually makes you throw up. Okay. So germs and the illness can do different things to you. A good, nice way of saying it is think of germs as the ultimate burglars. They quietly sneak into your body and rob you of your good health. Okay. But let me clarify. You have what we call an immune system. Your body will fight the germs and defeat them. It might take a few days, okay, but your body will defeat them. And sometimes to help your body, you might get medicine, all right? So we have things to fight the germs. So I don't want you being panicked at all about germs. You've got to 6, 7 years old without being overly worried about germs, okay? You do not need to worry about them, but we need to know about them though, all right? And we need to know how to be healthy. So how do germs spread? Most germs spread through coughing and sneezing, okay? So you might sneeze into your hands, then you might go and touch something, and those germs now are on that table. Someone else comes along, touches the same part of the table, eats some food, and the germs have therefore spread from person to person. It can also pass by shaking hands with someone who has a cold and then touching your own nose or your own face, okay? So it's important to know that germs can spread through human contacts, okay? But as I said already, and I will say it again, one, most people will not have a cold, so you don't see everyone as a potential germ, bacterium carrying person, okay? And you can also do things such as wash your hands to kill the germs, okay? So that's how germs spread. That's why we always say to you, year 2, when you cough or you sneeze, into your elbow, because it stops the spread. Okay, and that's what we need to do. So we know how germs spread and we know what germs can do. They sneak into your body and make you feel ill. They steal your good health. So what are the different ways of keeping clean? Talk to your hand, talk to your cuddly toy, your partner. What ways do you do, or what things do you do to keep clean at home? What do you do to keep clean at home? Pause the video now and tell me through the computer. Pause the video, please. I heard lots and lots of different answers there. Let's have a look here at some of the main ways we keep clean. Have good hygiene. Because hygiene is just about being clean, okay? Having good hygiene is about being clean and not dirty and looking after our bodies and obviously therefore our health, okay? Hygiene is so important. So let's have a look at different ways that you already do. I'm sure all of you shower and bath, okay? That is part of keeping good hygiene. You might have a little bit of bacteria on you, some germs on you. A shower will wash it off, okay? And it also gets rid of odors and smells, keeping us nice and clean. We brush our teeth. Brushing your teeth is about having good hygiene. Things like sugars can get into our teeth and rot our teeth. Bacteria can get into our gums and make them swell. So brushing our teeth gives good, what we call good oral hygiene. And we know we brush our teeth twice a day, both times for 2 minutes on the teeth and on the gums, okay? So brushing your teeth. We also have wearing clean clothes. We cannot keep wearing the same clothes every single day. Obviously, you can wear a pair of trousers, 2 or 3 days in a row, but you do need to wash them. Wash out the bacteria, wash out the germs, okay? Because otherwise your clothes start to get the sweat from your body and they start to smell. So we need to wash our clothes regularly too. Not a fun job, but an important job. Mr. Wernick's least favourite job, hanging the wet laundry, but need to do it because good hygiene is important, not just for you, but also for me. The other thing we need to do is if we do have a cold, we don't start coughing or sneezing all over the place. You cough and sneeze into your elbow if you don't have a tissue, but if you do have a tissue, cough or sneeze into it, blow your nose, but put that tissue straight into the bin. When I was younger, they used to say, Catch it, bin it, kill it. That will help stop the spread of bacteria. Okay. Another good thing to do is actually to breathe through your nose, because your nose, I believe, lots of like almost tiny hairs inside, which help trap germs too. All right. So if you're ever near someone who might have a little cold, I tend to breathe through my nose. So there we go. And the last one, and the most important one that you've probably heard a lot about recently, is washing your hands. Because as we know, there is coronavirus at the moment, okay, which unfortunately is keeping us all off school. But one of the reasons we've been kept off school is because the bacteria, the germs of coronavirus spread really easily. So things we can do to stop the spread of things like coronavirus, for example, is wash our hands. Because if you were to shake someone's hand and maybe a bit of that bacteria, those germs went on your hand, and you then ate some food or you rubbed your eyes, those germs have then gone into your body and you could become ill. All right. So by regularly washing our hands after the toilet or after we've been out the house, all those germs, it just kills them off, making our hands nice and clean and having good hand hygiene. Okay. It's what we do before lunch at school. You'd always have a little wash your hands, or maybe have a bit of hand sanitizer, because you're going to be using your hands to eat. So I always wash my hands before eating, and I also always wash my hands before cooking, and obviously after going to the toilet we need to always wash our hands. All right, so there are 5 ways that you already show good hygiene. Okay, always do these things. Hygiene is when you keep yourself clean and keep your body healthy. Okay, hygiene is when you keep yourself clean and keep your body healthy. Let's all read this together. 3, 2, 1. Hygiene is when you keep yourself clean and keep your body healthy. Good personal hygiene helps keep you well because it lessens the number of germs that enter your body. Better hygiene is less germs entering your body, so you will get ill less. Okay, you will not get as sick as often. So good hygiene with a good immune system helps us stay healthy. How do you get good hygiene? Brush your teeth, wash your clothes, shower, wash your hands, cough, sneeze into a tissue, put it in the bin. How do you stay healthy? Eat your vegetables for your immune system. Lots of vitamin C from oranges and other fruits. Okay, so it's really important you do both. All right, but hygiene is very important. Can you protect yourself from germs? Always wash your hands every time you cough or sneeze, before you eat or prepare foods, after you use the bathroom, after you touch animals and pets, after you play outside, and after you visit an ill friend. Okay, so if you know you've been someone who might have a cold, go and wash your hands, all right, in case any of those germs have gone onto your hands, because what we always want to try and do is stop the spread of these things. All right, so washing your hands is so important. Wash your hair and bodies to keep it smelling fresh and free from dirt and germs. Showering every day. Okay. Brush your teeth to keep it free from bacteria and cavities. Cavities are almost like, I guess, like little holes in maybe your teeth. Okay. So brushing your teeth is so important. And always wear clean clothes. And clean clothes doesn't necessarily mean you can't rewear one pair of trousers, but you should be wearing, fresh underwear and socks every day, for example. All right. If you're wearing a new vest every day, because your vest will get sweaty, we need to keep it clean from bacteria and stop it from smelling. Okay. So as I said, reinforcing what you can do to protect yourself from germs. What we're going to do now for your activity is there are 3 things. You're going to tick true or false on the statements, or write true or false, I must say, not tick. Write true or false on the statements here. 2, draw a picture of someone showing good hygiene. Maybe it is you washing your hands or brushing your teeth. And then the 3rd activity is write a sentence explaining why it is important to have good hygiene. So we have section 1 here where you need to write true or false. Then in the box, you need to draw the picture of someone showing an example of good hygiene. And the 3rd thing you need to do is complete the sentence of it is important to have good hygiene because. Let me just show you the worksheet one more time. And you can see it here. There is your worksheet. If you cannot print the worksheet, do not worry. For questions 1 to 5, you can just write true or false on a piece of paper. You can draw a box to draw your picture in of someone showing good hygiene. And the third section, you can just write out the sentences in a book or on a piece of paper. Let me quickly show you what I mean. Hopefully now my screen will be shared. So here I've just replicated the worksheet. So I don't have the statements here, but I can still see them on my screen. So statement 1 says you can see germs without a microscope. So I could just see germs on my hand. No, so for 1, I know that's not true. I would write false. Then I would do questions 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. And then my box I've drawn here, I need to show someone showing good hygiene. And maybe I would just draw someone here standing up here. And they are washing their hands, okay? They are washing their hands in the sink. I don't know what this little bit is here. We know Mr. Wernick is terrible at art. Well, I take it back. I'm not good at art yet. That's what I always say. I'm not good at art yet. I just need to practice. And I might say washing your hands here. Washing your hands as an example. Always thinking about my beautiful handwriting there. Washing your hands. And then the third section, it is good to have good hygiene. I think it says on the sheet, it is important to have good hygiene because why is it good to have good hygiene? Because less germs will enter your body potentially. It will stop you because it will stop you becoming ill frequently because you are washing the germs off your body. Different reasons why good hygiene is important. Anyway, good luck with the worksheet. If you're drawing it out like I have, not a problem at all. We look forward to seeing your work on Seesaw. I will speak to you all later. Goodbye.